17.5 as we approach the end of the year. Now we're down 26 points. You got to look at Amazon. The stock price has more than doubled this calendar year. I'm calling it the stock of the year, the company of the year. We're going to discuss that in just a moment. But 666 right on the button for Amazon right now. Liz McDonald is here. So too is Cheryl Casoni. Todd Horowitz in Chicago. Keith Fitz joining us from, where is it now? Oregon? Is that? Seattle. Sorry.
Oh, I'm in Seattle today.
Seattle today. All right, Keith. I say Amazon is the stock and the company of the year. You deal with the stock of the year. Is it?
Oh, I think you're absolutely spot on, Stuart. This has been an incredible run, an incredible story for investors, and an incredible story for retailing because it's breaking new ground literally and figuratively.
Okay, Todd, stock of the year. I know you're a commodities guy, but you've got to take time out and look at stocks for a minute. Amazon, stock of the year, yes or no?
Good morning, Stuart. I'm a stock guy as well. At 666, it's the devil. It is the stock of the year, but I do think that it's extremely overvalued here.
Wait a minute. You think it's overpriced at 667? Whatever it is.
Wherever it's at right now, I think it's tremendously overpriced. I think it goes lower quicker than it goes higher. Now, great company. They've managed to put out many people out of business. They've managed to close almost every brick and mortar out there. But eventually they'll get theirs, and their PE ratios are way out of whack, and they don't make enough money to support what they're doing.
Well, there you have it. You know, what a killjoy you are on a Monday after Christmas.
Wow.
Cheryl.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, Merry Christmas.
Happy New Year.
What a guy. All right. Well, Cheryl, I say, forget the stock for a second.
Okay.
I say it's the company of the year. Revolutionized retail.
Yeah. They have, but, you know, it's lonely at the top, and believe me, the minute you get up there, someone's ready to knock you off. And I think for 2016, they better watch their backs because everyone's going to copy exactly what they're doing, and they're going to take Amazon out. I'm telling you, that they're the target.
Liz, I don't think it's that easy to knock off Amazon because they're always a step ahead of the game.
Yeah, I hear what Cheryl's saying. Their robotics, as Jolyn Kent has reported, in their warehouses, extraordinary. With the Dow down for the year, the S&P flat, this stock up more than double digit. Amazon is a stock to watch. Also, McDonald's, I would say, is a comeback story of the year. The comeback stock.
I like that one.
Wait a second.
I'm with her on that one.
Keith Fitz, I want to go back to you for a second. I just got the numbers here. 3 million people signed up for Amazon Prime in the third week of December alone. Now, before that number came out, they'd already gotten 25% of every household in America signed up for Amazon Prime. I think that's a huge plus.
Oh, I agree with that. And we're one of those houses. We've already enjoyed the benefit of that. And, unfortunately, with regard to Federal Express, Amazon and FedEx didn't connect. But nonetheless, we're part of that puzzle.
Okay. I want to take a look at FedEx. There were some last-minute shoppers. They went on social media. They whined when their package didn't arrive by Christmas. Now, look, Liz, I'm being very pejorative here. I'm saying quit whining. Don't do it, because I think FedEx turned in a terrific performance.
Listen, their package deliveries, when you split them out, it would have been one package per person in the United States. All told, more than 1.5 billion packages delivered by the UPS, FedEx, and the Postal Service. That's like delivering one package to each person in China. So I'm telling you, they were not to blame. They have a 90% delivery rate. Maybe they overpromised and underdelivered. But when you have 9 of 10 retailers in brick and mortar or online saying free, fast delivery, it's the retailers also overpromising as well.
Besides, how can you account for a freak storm that attacks your hub, which is what happened?
Weather
in Texas,
happens. Weather happens. We're talking about 7 states, several declared disaster areas this morning. It's going to get worse. You cannot control the weather, no matter if you're the best shipper in the world. And FedEx and UPS are both, I think, strong companies.
Are you with me on this? Quit whining?
Yeah.
Ah, there you go. All right. Excellent. I didn't mean to put you in a corner there. But there.
What's new?
Look at oil, why don't you? Down almost 30% this year, and look at it now, down another buck, 37.06. Todd, I hear people saying it's going to go down another 30%. They'll put it in the $20 a barrel range. We've been discussing this for months. Is it going to happen?
I don't think so, Stuart. I think that oil is found somewhere near its low. Nobody cares about OPEC. Nobody cares about Saudi Arabia anymore. We make enough of our own oil here now. We're not as beholden to them at this point. Could we go a little bit lower? Yes. But if we look out into the future, which we can based on where the futures are trading, The futures are trading 20% higher a year from now. So does that mean for sure we're going up? No, but I do believe that there's going to be need. I do believe that the weather is going to get colder again someday, and there'll be more of a need for oil. I do believe that we're going to get more business eventually. So I think that this need will come back, and I do think oil is probably, if not at its low, somewhere near its low. And the people that are calling for $20 oil are actually trying to buy it down here and cover their shorts so they can take it back the other way. Very typical of a lot of the investment banks that are making that type of statement.
Keith Fitz, come into this, please, because we're seeing on our screen right now the major oil and major energy companies. All of them are down today. But my question is, why not take a flyer and buy a couple of them if they're so low? And when we got oil prices probably, maybe going higher, maybe a year from now. What do you say?
Well, just for the record, I'm not an investment bank, but I do think it's going to hit $25 a barrel. And to your point, Stuart, I think that we are going to see a great investment opportunity here. The world, even the most aggressive scientists, think it's going to be 30 years before we switch away from oil, assuming there's a fungible substitute. So that suggests we're going to need it. And if you need something, you want to buy it, especially if you're going to buy it at historically depressed levels.
Now, you just come back from Tokyo. I know you've been there for the holidays.
Yeah.
You come back, I know, I've heard what you've written, I've seen it. You're glowing about clean energy there. What do they have to offer us over here?
Well, you know, I was standing in the middle of Shibuya, which is one of the busiest intersections in the world, and I found for the first time in 20 years, Stuart, I could hear myself think. And all of a sudden it dawned on me, all the cars that were blocking the streets are quiet. All the people standing there are using alternative energy. The lights, the toilet seats even, are using smart energy. I think the repercussions worldwide, we haven't begun to grasp here in the West. And that, to me, is a very exciting investment opportunity because it suggests that they're 5, even 10 years ahead of the rest of the world in regards to how they use and consume energy.
All right, having seen what you've seen, what would you be putting your money into in terms of stocks here in America?
I think I'm going to be looking into robotics to cope with the aging population, efficient use of energy. I think I'm going to be looking at hybrid technology. Groups like Tesla, for example, are just the vanguard of what's going to happen. I would be scared to death of Detroit if I was in Detroit right now and investing in the automakers, which I do not. I think I'd be looking at alternative sources of fuel for everything from buildings to personal computers and PCs, storage devices in particular.
Okay, we have the Dow Jones average right now down 87 points as expected. And I've got to take a look at Apple. That stock is well off its high, which it reached in April of this year, 134. Where is it now, Nicole, and what's going on with Apple?
So we're looking at it at 107, and that 134 range was an intraday range, 133 and change was a closing number. Bear market territory, what? Well, that would be 20% off those recent highs, around 106 and change. So for the Apple investors who love Apple, they're pretty disappointed because of late they've seen the stock here coming off of those highs. And the insiders say, what do they want from Apple in 2016? They want growth, strong product cycle, and also bigger buyback. In fact, the cash that they have, one of the analysts saying they believe a stepped up $75 billion to $100 billion buyback would be music to the ears of the Apple investors.
It most certainly would. That would raise it off the bottom there. Take a look at Disney, please. After Star Wars becomes the fastest movie ever to hit $1 billion at the box office, Keith Fitz, you think that Disney's going down into the $90 range. Explain yourself.
I do. They're hemorrhaging subscribers from ESPN, so that's a $3 billion hit to the bottom line, and I think they're going to have to make it up. Now, that having been said, I think that all the Star Wars merchandising is going to hit a quarter or two from now. That's the stability you're looking for, and I think this is just a buying opportunity.
So ESPN is the problem, and it's a bigger problem than Star Wars is a plus. That's what you're saying?
In the short term, yes.
By the way, I went to see Star Wars.
And did?
You're surprised, aren't you,
you went to a movie theater?
Really? I went to a movie theater.
Did you stay awake?
Wow. Actually, I closed my eyes in the middle of it. I was shaken awake by one of these huge explosions that dot the movie throughout. Keith, I know you're laughing at me, but I would say this. If you're an 8-year-old boy, that movie is fantastic. If you're a 67-year-old guy, ain't so great. What do you say?
Well, I haven't seen it yet because I was on an airplane, but I can't wait.
Okay, moving on. Shall we move on?
At a scorching pace.
I'm just impressed you went to a theater. Like you actually went to a theater.
Was it 3D? Were you wearing 3D glasses?
Stop. I get seasick when I do that. I can't have that. Tesla's chief, Elon Musk, he says the driverless car for Tesla cars, I think, is only 2 years away. Is that the qualification?
Yeah, that's the news. And he also cut the delivery time in half. He said last year is 5 years away. So what he also said, though, watch this. He's saying the data does not support fully driverless cars. In other words, you got to have a steering wheel in there. You got to have brakes in there. A California law now says that too. And by the way, Pew Research said last year they found that older senior citizens don't want completely driverless cars. They want those brakes. They want the steering wheel in there.
Elderly people don't want little pods with no wheel.
That's right. They feel They feel unsafe. So they want a measure of safety in there. You know, the kids are always saying they're going to take the keys away from the drivers, and senior citizen drivers or senior citizens complain about each other's driving. That's not the issue here. The market, Elon Musk is saying, people want control in those driverless cars. They don't feel safe.
And they should have it. Yeah. That's what that's what the DMV in California has been saying the entire time. You can put them on the road, but there still needs to be a steering wheel.
Which reduces the actual degree of driverlessness.
Yeah.
You know, it does, doesn't it? It's not like you just sit there and...
There's a compromise for everything.
Google doesn't like that. The Department of Transportation is going to come in and say you got to have the steering wheel in there, you got to have brakes in there. Google doesn't like it. Elon Musk is saying, fine with it.
It's understandable. I got that. All right. You are about to see the largest cargo ship ever to arrive.